And them Snake Eyes cards are certainly going the mile right now. Make sure you guys smash the link crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more content. So I do want to make a note here that Kong's did a restock. A lot of stuff is already moved, but I do want to say that they have been restocking by the day here. So you're going to want to pay attention to these as they go. The curtain's now at $52 a curtain and sold out. The Dark Magician, the Magician's Servant's $37. Looks like Fancy Balls are back in stock, which is actually good. End of the World Rulers are back in stock. The Karibos got wiped out at 18s. I'm not really surprised about that. Your Cyberse Contract, which is completely wiped out at 15s. The Sabatio Karibo got wiped out at 15. I'm not surprised to see that. Your Infernal Strike Fighters still here. Synchro Emergency moving on along the line here, which is to be expected. Victim Sanctuary still doing all right. But the favorite hero, Shining Flare Wingman, is still in stock, which is good. So this is going to be one of those cases of discount code MCO40 will save you on your purchase. I do recommend that just kind of keep an eye and monitor what's going on with these cards. There's a lot of interesting things in like the low sub rarity that's going to keep doing its thing. Also, Iron Chain Dragon is a pretty big important card for Edison players because they want to get their hands on that reprint so they can actually, play the game. All right. Snake Eyes cards. So I shouldn't be surprised that Snake Eye is massively underneath the lens of the community right now, because the reality of the situation is we are all expecting some really cool Snake Eye stuff because the first episode of the Chronicles anime was up front with Snake Eye stuff. All right, we got to see Diabell start going to town versus this archetype, and just as you would expect, Snake Eyes is very fabulously one of the strongest archetypes that, we've had in more modern times. The Ultimate Rare Snake Eyes Ash, which, by the way, is probably one of the most important cards. As you can see, back in August, we doubled up in price, which, isn't really too crazy to say, but you're looking at like $19 to $20 a copy of Ultimate Snake Eyes Ash, which is crazy because this was a $5 card for, most of its life. Come on down here to the Secret Rares. Secret Rares have also pushed up extremely high. These are pushing about $9 a copy right now, which is just honestly kind of impressive. I didn't expect to see this level of growth so quickly on the Snake Eyes Ash. Same thing back here with the Ultra, or the original Super Rares. Original Supers are like $5, $6 a piece, which is just interesting to look in on the Snake Eye stuff and just see how it's doing. Now, we do have to go on over here to original Sinful Spoils. This got a point adjustment a list or two back, and it hasn't really recovered since. Your QCRs have been very, very high on the mark. I mean, these are still $60 a piece, and you're still watching them escalate on along the, value train, as you would kind of expect. But Ultras down here are still holding at some of the higher price points, about $8 a copy, which is to be expected, right? And then Secret Rares are also kind of synchronizing with the Ultras, putting them about $8 a copy. Am I surprised? No. Nor should you be, honestly. The original Sinful Spoils Snake Eye, just this card being able to bridge through so many fire decks, I do expect this to come back during the next list, just because, it makes sense. Now, I do want to look at some of these other Snake Eyes cards. Little Pobby Wobbly's gone. Oh yeah, shouldn't have been surprised about this. Pobble Wobblers are $53 a piece for QCRs, so those have gone up from their market price of 43s, which is honestly, once these are gone, we're hitting 60 on up to 77. Yikes! I feel like you've had no... actually, you have had sales. I thought this was September already. Yeah. You've had a couple of sales. Snake Eyes Vengeance Dragons are still 30s. That's under market. Flam Turges are about 27s. These are still synchronized with what you would expect. Snake Eyes Diabell Stars. These are still 20s. I mean, this card doesn't really know what it wants to do anymore. Doomed Dragon QCRs. I mean, this card is, I guess we're just not going to load. Doom Dragons are definitely up there for the QCRs, which, I mean, $14 isn't bad, considering the fact, Crystal Beast and every other rogue deck in the world wants the chance to play this, just to be able to cheese it out, which is really, really cool. Vengeance Dragons, base rarities are $4. Pobbler ESRs, oh yeah, we start to see the last year's World Championship pack being influenced here, but these are like $5. The Snake Eyes Pobblers, 3s. Just as we move on along here on down the train, Snake Eyes Doom Dragons are like $4. And there's a card I do recommend picking up. It's probably a Starlight version of this, just to actually have for collection, because it just doesn't make sense for you to not want to have that, especially, you know, looking at the other rarities here. Yeah, so Snake Eye stuff is definitely on the list of things to, you know, keep an eye on. Anything else in the Sinful Spoils department besides, like, Wanted going massively terminal? You know, I can't wait for this card to actually get limited to 1 and watch people cry and shit on the floor. It's going to be great. Imagine this card goes to 1 and then you just watch people go, oh, I spent my life savings on it. Yeah, you also read this card and it says draw a card. It's a search. This card is actually nuts, man. Do not be surprised if this does push to 1. Deceptions are still $57 a piece. We also get your, Subversion Snake Eyes. These are still somehow $20, which is not surprising. But even like these other versions of Wanted, these are $13. Platinums are 13s. $11 copies of this Tin of Secret Dueling Mirrors. Super rares are $10 a Wanted. That's the most expensive super rare from RAO3. I think you can possibly, actually, I think that's the most expensive super rare that is across all of the sets this year. Like, that's fucking crazy, man. Who goes, yeah, I'm gonna spend $8 on, why are the, I love that some of these other rarities are cheaper than the supers. Well, what do you want me to tell you, man? The point of this video was to showcase to you that all of the Snake Eyes stuff is now on the up and up. We're watching quite an interesting little uptick in shifting around of things actually kind of occurring between a lot of this stuff. Now, this one is to be expected, but I guess the minute that you reprint Necromancer, people are going to lose their minds, and they're going to go, I gotta go pick up my max rarity Archfiends. And that's why you watch the community go through the door here. Right now, I still don't feel like this is low in listings, but according to people, these have been moving. Let's actually look at the data here. You've had a couple move. And somebody spend $15 a copy to get them from one seller, which I guess just go buy them individually, man. You wait for the 3 packages, save yourself literally like $20 if you had bought them individually, but I digress. What do I know? Interesting, though. Glad to see, you know, Archfiend getting the love that he kind of deserves. Because, I mean, as much as we, you know, dog on Infernity, the reality of the situation is it is an active moving product. Karakuri Bure. Oh, God. Really? These things are 100 Quatlus now? If you are somebody that likes playing the older formats, Bure is always going to have a special place in all of the older formats, man. There's no matter how we want to spin this or, you know, look at this, Bure has so much application just because he's a free special summon from the deck, but he's also a free battle position change. The fact that he can also change his own battle position is rather hilarious. But, I mean, he's also basically generic except for, you know, needing a machine non-tuner, which I've made this card a couple times. Your highest sale is $75 on the near mint train. If we take that off and we like look at others, I mean LPs have sold for 50s. But I mean, yeah, this card's not really moving in a large direction. Lightning Vortexes. So this is an interesting one. There are no near mint first ed copies on the market right now for this. Now, if we just clear off near mint though, and you kind of get a picture of, you know, mod plays are $190 a piece. You're looking at $279, excuse me, on up to $280 here for light play first eds. Now, I mean, have these actually sold that? I mean, people are buying damage copies right now at this price. The last near mint sold for $300 a piece, which that's a lot, man. I don't really know how I feel about this card, like, long-term, just kind of sitting here and doing its thing, but I guess it's to be expected, considering, you know, this is an old card like this that actually is, you know, kind of holding up. Also, crazy enough, somebody bought the French copy here for $250. What does this actually look like? I'm kind of curious. I love getting to actually see some of these older cards. Oh. Vortex Flurgant? Well, you know, if it's fine. Vortex, it's a beautiful card, actually. Well, that's all I got for today's market. Please, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.